Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Chaya from GMS Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana, the original Gary Camp. It's GMS Will Terry 2. You see on screen it says J.E. Wish comedian Adam Friedland describes his birthright trip to Israel. Maybe I'll look that up. Birthright trip. All right, let me see. Birthright Israel offers a free 10-day trip to Israel for young adults ages 18 to 26, covering basic activities like lodging, transportation, and some meals. The goal is to connect participants with their identity and heritage through experiences like visiting historical religious sites, hiking, and exploring Israeli culture. To be eligible, you must have at least one parent or be by choice through conversion and not have previously visited Israel on an educational trip after age 18. Basically, to indoctrinate you more heavily into the whole victim narrative that those people rely on, just to put more lies on you. All right.
It was 18 years ago. It was before the election of Hamas. Mm-hmm. They pulled out, and then they took us to the West Bank. Like the last month I was there, and I realized that I was like, oh, this is the wrong side of history. Mm-hmm. And I saw, like, you look down at the Arab village that was underneath where this fucking settlement was, and you see how these people are living under constant surveillance and they're being fucking demeaned and dehumanized. And then you see these fucking guys like building these tract houses like they live in fucking Orange County. Mm-hmm. You know, in the middle of like this political reality, which is brutal and fucking like inhumane. And I lost it. I lost it then. And I went back and I told my parents, and we got in big arguments. I was like, this is what we were told was important, was to support fucking Israel so the Holocaust doesn't happen again. That's what we were told. Mm-hmm. And that's what my parents were told when they were growing up. And they knew survivors, mm-hmm. and it freaked them out. And I understand why there's like this like narrative in the Jewish community, but like that doesn't make Jews more safe. It's a failure of a project. And then now we're seeing like this fucking bloody reality.
And but the response is crazy because
the response is insane.
It's like the idea like
seeing Joe Biden saying he doesn't believe the death tolls.
This is old.
That really broke me.
Well, they're panicking now.
Elections,
right? So the lies ain't holding up. We live in the information age. It's a lot of alternative sources where you can look up and see and find out the truth for yourself. And like the scripture says, what is it? A house divided against itself cannot stand, right? Just grab that real quick. I think I want the one in Luke. Luke 11 and 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Right, the house of Esau is divided. All right, you got the left-right paradigm. Anything you had an opinion on in this day and age, there's an opposing idea. Everything is divided. Diametizo, to cleave asunder, cutting, to divide into opposing parts, to be at variance. See? Variance, right? To be at a disagreement. Right? Well, that's what Yahushua said, all right? Matthew 10. Let's start at 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Right? And when you come into the truth, all right, this knowledge separates you from your family. All right? because it makes you holy. And look, and even even the truth that's coming out now is separating other people from their families. You see what he was talking about? He arguing with his parents. Hey, when the SHOT came out for COVID some years ago, that divided people. That divided families. Some was for it, some was against it. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right, Salakia. So I looked up some on. Oh, wait a minute. Now let me get Psalm 64 and 8. Let's see, Psalms. (64:8) says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." All right, so you got the Israelites. We coming out with information, with the scriptures. All right, even secular history, secular information, and people don't believe us, which that's fine, calling us quacks, crazy, whatever. But you got, Esau, Edom, who they telling on themselves, so-called white people, which you Jewish people, y'all are Edomites as well. All right. Ain't no distinction between you two in that regard. Y'all different subsects or different tribes of Edom, but your parentage is Edom. All right. Don't try to separate. But they telling on themselves. All right. Because that's the spirit of the Lord. Now, in their mind, they think they might be doing a good thing. All right. But you're Edomite nonetheless. Your fate gonna remain the same. All right. So this is Psalm 64 and 8. I just looked it up on Grok just to see what they say. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. The wicked conspirators who use deceitful, slanderous speech, sharpen their tongues like a sword, are now destroyed by their own words. God turns their weapon against them, perhaps through exposure. Right? They get exposed. Right? They always got this victim mentality, but you realize that they're the aggressor. All right. Self-contradiction, which that happens all the time. Just cut the news on. Or divine justice that causes their schemes to backfire. Right. And that's what we witnessing. All right. Because you only, like the saying goes, you only can stack shit so high. All right. Lies can only last so long. Now, I looked up something over here. I typed in, what mentality would you have to commit a genocide? All right. Creating an us versus them mindset. Right. Which, when you pay attention to it, that is a thing. All right. Because that particular group have usurped the authority of the world. They usurp the authority of different countries through the monetary banking system. All right. It says ideologies promote the idea that one group is inherently inferior, dangerous, or evil. This creates an emotional and psychological distance from the targeted group, allowing perpetrators to see them as a threat to be eliminated rather than as fellow human beings. Propaganda. Leaders use propaganda and hate speech to spread harmful narratives and stereotypes about the target group. This can include portraying them as a parasite, a disease, or a threat to national security, making violence seem right and necessary. And this is basic, these are lies, right? These is a narrative, but this is something they believe. This is a narrative that they believe, all right? A false narrative that makes them the protagonist and makes everyone else the antagonist. mainly us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you can see how this can apply to us, and it is applying to us because with the crime statistics, right, we're the face of that. But when you actually get deeper into it, that's not true, right? The government benefits, they make us the face of it. When actually you get into it, that's not true. So what's going on over there with those particular people? All right. The Amalekites and the Ishmaelites. Amalek being the Jewish people. That's happening over here too. Right? With the ICE raids and the Latino community and the so-called black community, right? Look, feeling of victimhood and revenge. Many perpetrators see themselves as true victims, not the aggressors. They may have feelings of humiliation and believe they are enacting revenge against a group that has wronged them. And this the low level. This for you low level Edomites. You low level Amalekites, Jewish people. Like the one guy, the comedian. All right? Because your leaders, your upper elites, they know what's going on. Like the one guy said, our God is Satan, right? Was it Rosenthal? Let me see. Is it Rosenthal? Look. You gotta be careful with that AI, man. You gotta be careful with that AI. And they say this guy killed himself too. The phrase "our God is Satan," the hidden tyranny that was falsely attributed to Harold Wallace Rosenthal, a Jewish American who worked as a senior aide to a U.S. senator in the 70s. See, but anyway, the quote goes, he said, let me see. Let's see. Most Jays do not like to admit it, but our God is Lucifer, and we are his chosen people. Yeah, well, look, anyway, whether it's false or not, the upper elites know it to be true. All right? Read the Talmud when you get a chance. Okay? But anyway, we get two scriptures in Job. Let me get it over here. Job 11:3. Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And that's what they think, man. We got to sit back and just eat the words that you give. But no, that information is being challenged, right? The holla hoax, all right? It was a hoax. It wasn't true, okay? The everything you say is a lie. Everything this man say is a lie. All right. You got, if he wrote it if it's written down in the book somewhere, okay, you got a chance. It might be some truth in it. But if he's saying it and he repeating it over and over and over, because who control the media, right? Then it's a lie. And ain't nobody holding their peace. You being challenged, all right? And you can't deal with the challenge. See, Esau Edom wasn't created to deal with adversity. He don't have no intestinal fortitude. He ain't created to overcome challenges. All right. You see how he's acting. And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? Right. Because you being told all right, to your face that you a liar. All right? Everywhere you go, everywhere you navigate and move to, you being met. Like the scripture says, like the scripture told Jeremiah. What did he say? Jeremiah 1 and 18, for behold, I have made thee this day a defenced city and an iron pillar and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, and against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to deliver thee. So we like that brazen wall, man, impregnable, all right? You can't penetrate, all right, with these lies. Jumping to Job 13 and 14. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right. See, these people are useless. All right. Because a parasite just benefits from his host at the host's detriment. All right. So you don't help put back nothing. All right. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that out. It's kind of all over the place. Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakudash, Shalom.